Hi guys, and welcome to the third video in my Science of the Bodybuilding series, a series on the in-depth aspects explained in a scientific way and hopefully in an easy to understand way as well. In this video we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty details, the meat and bones of the sarcomere, the most basic unit of the myofibril. As you remember, the myofibril, and we will review this, is the long tubular-like structure that sits inside a muscle cell that is used for contraction. I'm just so excited to talk to you guys about this today because the sarcomere is where those contractions happen. And understanding the principles of what's going on will really go a long way in helping you guys meet your goals. So without further ado, let's check it out. Alrighty guys, welcome to the video here. It's titled How Muscles Work, the Sarcomere. Need to know basics for bodybuilders. Let's get started. So we're going to do a review here. This here is the myocyte. This is the whole entire cell here, and these are the nuclei brushed up and squeezed against the membrane here, the sarcolemma. So in review, myocytes are filled with myofibrils. These are the myofibrils. Each one of these strands here is a myofibril, and they're used in conjunction to make the muscle contract. Myofibrils are long connected strands of sarcomeres, and that's these things here. And this video we're going to talk about what this is, what's going on here. Sarcomeres are responsible for contracting the muscle, and having those lined up like that makes a myofibril. Having a bunch of those gets you a myocyte. So now we're going to zoom into the sarcomere, and we're going to talk about first the parts. What are we dealing with here? And these are the fibrous proteins. So we're talking about the thin actin filament, which is this strand here. Okay, we'll talk more about it later in the video, but this is the site of contraction along with this site here, which is the thick myosin filament. So here you see the thick myosin, and it has little protein strands. All this is protein essentially, and this has little protein strands that pull along the thin filament here, the thin actin. So the myosin pulls the thin actin here, and they contract towards the M line. So we're going to talk, but before we do talk about that, we got to talk about titin. Where is it? I know. So here we go. So titin's the strands here that kind of are the building framework of the sarcomere. And interesting thing about titin is it's a very strong fibrous protein. So now let's talk about the zones of the sarcomere. You have your Z lines. This is the defining borders of a sarcomere, is by your Z line. So here's another sarcomere starting, but they're separated by the Z lines. So then you also have your I band, which are where your only your thin filaments are here, located in the I band. See, this is the I band here. So I band up here, zoomed out, I band here, zoomed in. Your A band is the entire thick filament. So here's your A band. See? The thin or thick myosin here is the stretch of the entire A band. Then you have your H zone, which is where only the thick filaments is. So as you can see here, and this is where the thin filaments, these two will meet in the center, and the muscle will contract. And then you finally have your M line, and that's where everything attaches. That's where the big thick myosin filament attaches to the M line. So here's a great pic showing contraction in action. So like I said, the myosin has these little protein heads, and so does the thin actin. This has protein places here too that, and we'll talk more about this in subsequent videos. We'll get really into detail on this because I think it's important. But the myosin heads here will grab on to the thin spots here, and they'll pull the thin filaments here towards the M line. So there it is, showing after it's been done. This is a muscle contracted here on the bottom, and this is a muscle relaxed here at the top. So like I said, it shortens the bands and everything gets nice and tight, and you can even see the other sarcomeres here doing it too. They all do it in conjunction. So in review, one more time, because I feel like this is important, we're going to review. So this shows the heads attaching to the sites of the thin filament, and they crawl along the surface here. They pull it down and pull it. It's almost like a guy pulling rope. So imagine these are just little hands pulling the thin filament towards the M line here, and then finally you get contraction. So again, the myofibril is a tubular formation of stacked sarcomeres. Sarcomeres squeeze together to perform contraction. The myosin is pulling the actin. And this is what the actin looks like, super zoomed up. And we'll get more into detail of that in the next few videos. That's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked that video, please watch my other ones. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace. Have a great day.